Shocking absolutely nobody, it turns out that Forza Horizon 5 is not only the low point of the franchise, but also one of the weakest racing games this side of Need for Speed Underground 2. It combines archaic arcade gameplay for the racer genre with the most blandest of bland white bread vanilla car variety I have ever seen. What does a racing game need to succeed? It needs to have really fast cars, it needs to have really fun gameplay, it needs to have engaging, enthralling races, and it needs to get your pulse pounding with every corner, every turn, every squeeze of the trigger to accelerate, every crank of the trigger to brake. And Forza Horizon 5 does absolutely none of this. The game is a complete embarrassment to the racing genre. I mean, you only need to ask yourself, why would you pick this trash to play when superior games such as Wreckfest and Dirt 5 exist? It's such an embarrassment from what was once a truly great racing franchise. Forza Motorsport, the original, remains one of the finest racing games I have ever played, and it has aged like a fine wine. But you see, the clowns over at Microsoft, they decided that money was in the crosshairs, not providing a true racing experience. So they spun it off into Forza Horizon, injected this lifeless arcade gameplay, and there hasn't been a good Forza Horizon game since its inception. But Forza Horizon 5, we are balls deep in a spin-off franchise that should have never existed. Microsoft was chasing dollar signs. You can tell when talented developers who actually care about the end product, craft games with a purpose and craft games with fun in mind. You don't need to look any further than Burnout Paradise to see that on full display. But Forza Horizon 5 has the stench of monetization and the stink of corporate greed all over it. You see it from the moment you boot up the main menu, and it permeates throughout your entire playtime. It's a disgusting experience, but it's not one that I've come to be unfamiliar with when it comes to Microsoft products. I mean, these are the same people who decided to make Halo Infinite's multiplayer completely free to charge, while other gamers were rejoicing at the fact that they wouldn't have to drop $60 to play the latest Halo installment online. I was recoiling in fear and disgust because I know exactly what that means. One only needs to look to the most blatant, unashamed monetization that gets plastered over every free-to-play game like Call of Duty, Warzone, or Fortnite. I don't want to see skins shoved in my face. I don't want to see that there's a countdown deal expiring at the end of today, and if I don't fork over a credit card number, I'm going to, quote-unquote, miss out. I don't want to see plasters of advertisements asking me to spend real-world currency for a game that you, the developers, chose to make free. And Forza Horizon 5 is no better. This game cost me $60, but yet it doesn't feel like a complete product. This feels like a free-to-play game. Matter of fact, I'm convinced they were originally going to go free-to-play with Forza Horizon 5 and attempt to monetize the hell out of it, but they decided that their fan base was dumb enough that they could charge them $60 up front and then milk them for DLC and skins and cars down the road. Make no bones about it here, folks. Forza Horizon 5 is easily the worst racing game this century. If you're excited or entertained by this trash, you are the problem with the gaming industry. And quite frankly, you need to get your head examined by a licensed professional to diagnose just what the hell is wrong with you. But I digress. After I played this game for 10 minutes, I pulled the disc out of my Xbox Series X. I snapped it in two. I threw it into the toilet and proceeded to piss on it because that's exactly what I think this game is worth. It's not worth any money. Matter of fact, Microsoft should be paying you for playing this vanilla, bland as absolute garbage, complete dumpster fire of a game. And if you're still a Forza Horizon fan after this, well, folks, fanboys come in lots of different flavors, but Forza Horizon fanboys are by far the worst. They're the most sensitive little crybabies when you attempt to confront their product with direct, legitimate criticism, but they're also the first ones to step in line to fork over $60 for the fifth installment in a series that never should have existed in the first place.